All right, well, welcome back to the Maryland Made Podcast. This is a very special episode of the Maryland Made Podcast as we are ending the spring 2022 semester. I'm Walt Pegues, the Big Ten Diversity Fellow, and joining me today is the rest of the Maryland Made team, the Dream Team. To close out the semester, we have Risa, Tim, Sophia, and Sydney. To all of our listeners out there, but to end off the spring semester, we want to kind of recap the spring semester, but also, talk about some of our favorite moments. But Maryland Made is also taking flight, so we got a lot in store, as we close out the semester this summer and beyond. So to kick things off, how's everybody feeling today?
Doing good. The sun is shining. Weather's nice. Can't really complain today. Apparently, I'm here with just you, Walt. I don't know where everybody else is.
Sophie, what's up, bro? Talk to us.
Having a good day.
Sophie number 2, talk to us. What's up?
I'm okay. I'm a little tired. We had Gossip Fellows presentations late last night. So a little bit tired. But yeah, doing good. I'm just ready for the DMV weather to kind of make up its mind. I don't know, Risa, what you mean by nice weather. It is like overcast and chilly.
That's my kind of weather. I don't need 80 degrees, okay?
It's a nice breeze, I would say. I mean, yesterday was a nice day. Yesterday was too hot, though. People were saying it was too hot yesterday, so.
Oh, yeah.
Well, also didn't help we didn't have no AC in the building yesterday.
Very true.
True.
But all right, y'all. I mean, last one for the semester. For our listeners out there, appreciate y'all for rocking with us for this semester, the whole academic year in general. But it's the end of the spring 2022 semester, so let's just recap that to start things off. And in our roles, the role that you occupy, what is something that you accomplished or something that the students that you work with accomplished this semester that you're really proud of? And Tim, of course, I got to start with you because last night, was a big moment, but I'll start with you for this one.
Yeah, something that I worked on alongside athletes was the Data AP program. I know you had Max and Brian on earlier this semester to talk about that program. I believe that program was a step forward in who we are and who we are and the work we want to do and work we will do moving forward as it relates to identity-based programming from a career standpoint and a leadership standpoint as well. A program I'm also obviously proud of is the Gossip Fellows program. I think 2020's cohort, they started in person and finished online, thanks COVID. 2023 cohort started like this hybrid, and they'll be fine. With this middle cohort, they started online and finished in person. And so being able to build relationships with them in a more virtual setting, in a virtual setting first, and then pivoting to in person and seeing how that transformed and evolved to, who and what we are today as they approach graduation is something I'm super proud of. And of course, their products last night were phenomenal. So proud. What's up, Sydney? Sophie number 1.
Wait a minute. I'm Sydney, not Sophie number 1.
I said Sophie earlier and you jumped in, but go ahead, homie.
Well, so some things that I accomplished myself was creating a Share the Show guidebook where you all can find, all the mission, the vision, the pillars, those community engagement rules, a couple of the SAC roles, and then also, just the event timeline of the different SAC initiatives, FanFest, Adopt a Family, and Terps Giving. And then I also created a Share the Show email address and updated the community outreach request form on Terps. So it was just great to be able to create a system that not only us, but the department and the student athletes will have an opportunity to look back at and see what they've done in the past, but also to just have one location for everything community engagement wise. And I will pass it over to Sophia, number 2.
Thank you, Sophia, number 1. Sophia.
You're welcome.
Something that I'm proud of, I would say I'll have to go with like the launch of the Q Basic program. I think a couple of reasons why I'm proud of it. One, I worked on a lot in the fall, so it was like cool to actually see it come to fruition in the spring. But I think 2, throughout the Gossip Fellows presentation, just like one-on-one conversations with students, things that like different staff have brought up, like this is a needed program. And I think a lot of needs and gaps that students specifically are talking about right now are going to be addressed through QBasic program. And I'm just like really proud of the cohort that we do have. I think it's a really awesome, unique cohort that has a lot to offer, and they're going to get a lot out of this program. So I'm really excited about that. So having like our first like program session where they just got to meet each other and build community was really exciting. And then just kind of preparing and planning for the first session to kick off in June. So just really excited about that. That's all like come to fruition. I'll just pass it over to Risa.
All right, for me, and I think Walt and I probably, because we worked a lot together this spring, will probably say similar things, but I'll say the Leadership Academy, and from the perspective of, we were introduced to some new student athletes from different sports that have not traditionally shown up in our program. It actually made a dent in what we were doing, right? Like they came in prepared and wanted to join in the conversation and didn't just sit there, right? So I appreciate them jumping in and being willing to really take this journey with us, and I hope to see them kind of show up in some other programs that we're doing. And the other piece I'll add that I'm proud of is just watching our SAC grow, and watching them capitalize on this campus safety problem that we have. And I know we're not the only institution that faces a lot of crime within their communities, but watching them come from the fall to creating this plan to actually being able to sit down with the UMD PD and really having conversations about what does this look like moving forward. So I would say those two things are where I'm most excited about what we've done this spring semester. And Walt, I'll toss it back to you.
Yeah, appreciate that lob. But yeah, I'm right with you. Leadership Academy was definitely probably something I'm most proud of that I worked on this semester, especially like co-constructing that with Risa, but also co-constructing that with the students that applied for the program. They kind of chose that curriculum and chose the topics that they wanted to touch on. So for me, having an opportunity to lead 3 of those sessions and then bring Tim in to close us out for the global and social change was a great opportunity. But to Teresa's point, like really connecting with student athletes that haven't been in the Maryland Made programs before, and then kind of like seeing how much they got out of that. For a lot of them, they had never utilized LinkedIn before. So seeing them use LinkedIn, they've never really, done any type of extensive, out of classroom type of experience. So kind of getting to see them investigate their leadership qualities, their leadership skills, but also just seeing them interact with the other student athletes and, in the revenue generating sports, but some other sports that may not get, that much representation and recognition. But then seeing them have that debate, the debate was kind of probably my favorite, session, and having them debate about should student athletes get paid and why should student athletes get paid? It's an old conversation, but like this is a debate that's still, here. And with NIL, it's even kind of heightened now. So like seeing them talk about real life stuff. And then Tim's final session was was an interesting session. We had, student athletes talking about a lot of different things that they're interested in, and that's really important for them. And like a lot of the work we do is to make sure they're prepared to, be leaders, especially once they leave here. So getting them to kind of think outside of the traditional athlete box was definitely fun to see. And then definitely SAC, they took some, big strides this year. Katie will definitely be missed as our SAC president. So just connecting with her on, several initiatives. But the last thing, them actually connecting and seeing their campus safety plan that started as an intern group this summer, then all the way through the spring semester to actually come to fruition was huge. And having campus police here on campus, meeting with the student athletes. So that was definitely cool to see how that all played out. So those were definitely my highlights of the semester. And kind of like piggybacking off of that, I'll kick it to Sophia and Tim, and then even Sydney as well. Me and Risa kind of talked about SAC, but Sophie, I know you work with pre-health terps. So anything that pre-health terps did this semester that made you proud?
I think we might have lost her.
She's frozen. All right, I'll go check on Sophia. Sydney, I'll kick it off to you. I know you have Fan Fest. Your Share the Shell liaison stepped up big in that. So would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so Fan Fest was just this past Saturday. It was so much fun. If you weren't there, you missed it. So in addition to this year, we did partner with Special Olympics. And so the donations went to the Special Olympics organization, and the donations go towards their year-round opportunities for them to participate in athletics, but also to their leadership programs. And so I participated in the plunge. And so in addition to that, we had different activities. So wrestling did Pie in the Face, and Mike North was a phenomenal help this semester, but also Isabella Wrestler as well was just assisting with the promotion, with stepping in, helping out with different activities, and getting the student athletes hype. I've never seen this semester all the student athletes involved in hype, and so they all had a great turnout and experience, and they stepped up, and I actually kind of sat back and let them take the steering wheel on a lot of this, and they were able to navigate it. So I'm just excited for next semester to see what all they come up with.
No doubt. Shout out to Mike North for taking over the Instagram account and closing the semester out strong as the Share to Shell liaison. Sophie is back with us. Tell us something about that pre-health terps this semester that made you proud.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there, but anyways, I think what I'm most proud of for pre-health terps is the last meet they just hosted with Dr. Robinette, who is an assistant dean of admissions for the University of Maryland School of Medicine. She came and spoke with the group for honestly almost an hour and a half, and they just really impressed me with the level of questions that they came to talk about. And it wasn't just questions about what score do I need on my MCAT to get into med school, or how can I write the best personal statement, but it was like, how does the University of Maryland School of Medicine, or just how have you seen the medical field in general be preparing all of us as doctors and PAs, PTs, etc., to be empathetic, and how do we focus on cultural competencies when we're caring for patients? And those kinds of questions is like what makes me really proud to know them as future healthcare professionals. And I'm just really excited for the future of this group, the way that they just showed up with a ton of really, really good questions to really be the most prepared healthcare professionals that they can be while they're balancing really demanding schedules is really impressive to me. And the meeting actually even attracted a lot of non-student athletes. So just students across campus, which shows that pre-health terps is not only filling a need for student athletes, but honestly filling a need for this campus, right? And I think that's something that all of us really care about in the work that we do. Yes, we primarily work with student athletes, but how are we making this campus better all around? So
thanks for that. And then Tim, Worldwide Terps, GASA Fellows, your student groups, something that made you proud.
Yeah, I mean, for me, they're really starting to take ownership of their voice, right? We talk about storytelling a lot, we talk about identity a lot, of course, but really taking ownership of their voice to see, to voice, to see, to express, and to push for change, right? Both at Maryland, in their local community, globally and nationally, right? So I think it's been super important for us to not just nurture their voice, but also help them to understand that you have a platform, right? You'll gather the facts. Now go, do it. I think we've seen them with Gossip Fellows last night. We've seen them in other areas, like Taylor Whitmer pushing for the candle vigil that hopefully we'll be having this soon. Fingers crossed, right? We've seen that with what's that woman's name? Christina Collar T, with Phil Hockey doing the clothing drive, right? They want to do these things. I think historically within college sport and higher education, we have not done the best job collectively in creating avenues for them to do that, right? To walk in that. But when we move out the way and just support them, identify barriers and roadblocks ahead of time, they'll sprint. It's our job to keep up with them to make sure that they're not just having fun along the way, but also are safe as well. And so that's been something I'm very proud of this semester, seeing athletes in all of our programs take ownership of their voice, which we've seen that again with Cindy's point with the Fan Fest, and Sophia's point, never call you Sophia, but Sophie's point with pre-health terps, and I think we'll continue to see that with Q-Basic and other programs moving forward.
Absolutely. Definitely good work that the students are doing, especially our student leaders and the students that are in our groups, but across the campus, they're doing some important work. So, shout out to all the students out there. And our next question, we kind of talked about some things that we accomplished and some of the work that we've been doing, some of the work that our student groups have been doing, but what's something like a favorite moment, besides, I guess, quote unquote, bullying Sophia, but besides that, what's have been some favorite moments that you've been able to spend with the Maryland Made team this semester? I'll start with Risa for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump in. I really think, to me, it goes back to the facility. So moving into Gossett Hall has given us really our own space to become collaborators a lot more, being able to use our own conference room and just sometimes jump in there. Somebody's in there, you may grab your laptop and come in and start doing work, right? We didn't have those capabilities in the previous space that we occupied. And so I think that has allowed us to be better, to have more holistic conversations about where all of our students are going, no matter what programs we're working on. And so I think that makes us stronger. I think it's going to make us better moving forward. So I think for me, it goes back to the facility allowing us to just be actually a team, whereas we were before, but it just wasn't as strong. So I'm going to toss it to Sophia for that one.
I would have to agree with that, for sure. Just like the ability to just like have us all be in a common space, just like brainstorm, and just like, even if it doesn't necessarily pertain directly to the role that you're in, I just think a lot of the events that we've planned this semester, programs that have, organically come, have been from us just kind of talking about ideas in a room. And I think that's been a really cool opportunity. But I will add to that I think honestly my favorite moments was last night. Like, I think it's just really, really special to see young people grow and develop, even though I didn't know them before September, but like I can only imagine, where they started. But just seeing like they're going out into the quote unquote real world, right? And like how prepared you can tell that they totally are. And like I'm like sitting there being like, was I like that when I was 22 years old? Like, most definitely not, right? And so I think that was just a really special moment last night that, it was just like cool to have all of us here in the same room, have all the students from Gossip Fellows in the same room, a lot of, other staff from athletics in that room too. Like, that I think is a really special moment and is a good reminder of like my why. I'll toss it to Sydney.
I'll kind of piggyback off of both what Risa and Sophia said. So starting off kind of what Risa said, I do feel like all of us being over here, it's more engaging. We're able to be our authentic selves. I feel like we've all are around each other too much sometimes. But like, I feel like that's what makes us and our team as small as it is, that's what makes us all like bounce ideas off of each other. And like the randomness, I really like the randomness. It's randomness every day, all day. And that's really what I like. And I also like the interactions with the students. It seems as though us being over here, the students are, I don't know, we see them more. We see all the different sporting teams more. Sometimes we see coaches. And so I just like the randomness of the individuals that come and visit, but like our team as well. Like, we all show up at different days, and different energies, and we just kind of bounce off of each other. So that's what I enjoyed the most. I will pass it to Tim.
Yeah, I'll answer your question, Walt. You said favorite moment. I'll answer your question, bro. My favorite moment was when Sophie caught me in the hallway. That was the most probably random moment over the course of the entire semester, at least for me. So, you remember this?
I did what?
You caught me in the hall.
It's on tape. We have it on tape.
I did not. I could not. Yeah, got it. Mm-hmm.
Words are not your friend today.
Yeah, that was a funny moment for me. That's my favorite moment, though, hands down.
It just shows that I am the strongest one on the team.
Excuse me, what?
I don't know that we all had a chance to catch Tim, so I don't know that counts.
He couldn't even fix the table yesterday without my strength. So
that's because I had open-toed shoes on. If I had closed-toed shoes, it would have been different.
Do you live with your feet or your hands?
I had to kick. Walt had to kick the table too.
I pushed it with my hand.
Well, I never mind.
And this is the
You're still electable. I'm voting for you.
Well, what's your favorite moment?
I mean, I think the randomness, like Sydney said, and like me having an office actually is good. To actually like, I can go to somebody else's office or somebody else can come to my office instead of like having to be y'all out in the open in the study hall area all the time. So having an actual office is great and a great moment. And then just like that opportunity for like a bunch of students to like just come in and like stop in and talk to us as a team. I know like Katie and Carla always like stop in and like talk to me and Sophie or Tim, stuff like that. So that's always great. But also a 1B was recording the New York video. I was behind the scenes. I was, Steven Spielberg, but seeing Sophie hit her head was probably, a great moment. So that New York video, some great bloopers there, but that was a great
We
moment.
might have to throw that outtake in here at one point.
You might have to.
Blooper.
Do y'all just think about how boring your lives would be if I wasn't on the team? Like, I tried to throw that out there. Like, so many of your favorite moments included me.
What you want, a cookie or a trophy?
I will take both, a cookie in the trophy specifically.
I knew she was gonna say both.
Just like, never mind. Let me be quiet. Audience.
All right, on to the next question. It's a short one, but one word to describe the spring semester. I'll start with Sophie since it looks like she does not know.
That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. One word to describe the spring semester is electric.
Tell us why.
I don't actually know if that's my word, but that's the placeholder. Risa, you go next. Come back to me at the end.
I mean, for me, it's impactful, right? Like, again, I think last night with the Gossip Fellows presentations just reminded me how we all show up every day for our students and the impact that we are making on their lives, but also other people's lives, right? Like Mr. Gossett gave us a great opportunity to come here and do this work with the money that he chose to give to Maryland. And you never know what the outcome of that is. And I think he even continues to see the impact that we leave. So I think for me, the word to describe the spring semester is impactful. Sophie's back.
I want my redo. Okay, my redo is my word is actually grateful, because I was thinking about how often there are so many people, at least that I know that I'm friends with in my circles, et cetera, who don't love their jobs. And I can genuinely say after the semester, like, I love my job and it like really makes me happy. Like, even though we were here till whatever 9:30 p.m. last night, right? Like, spending a gajillion hours reprinting name tags and whatever yesterday, like at the end of the day, I can walk out of this building and say, like, I love my job. So grateful for that, because a lot of people can't say that. Tim.
My word would be, I'll say recalibrate. I was gonna say adjustment, but I'll say recalibrate, because I believe this is the first semester that we had a choice whether to do in person or remote. Like in previous semesters, we had to do one or the other based off of obviously COVID restrictions, protocol and whatnot. But understanding that now we're in this true hybrid environment, like what decisions we make to be in person, what decisions we make not to be remote, right? It's part of the same thing, but said differently. But nevertheless, I think understanding that even platforms like this podcast will still exist in this in-person hybrid environment, but how do we then shift and recalibrate what its purpose looks like moving forward? So recalibrate is my word for the semester. What's up, Sydney?
Well, you all know what my word usually is. It's impact. Chris already touched on that. So I'll say fun. Overall, I just feel like the semester was fun. Through everybody's programming, just going to support. The new initiative of the book drive, that was fun. Attending SAC events was fun. Just attending Q Basics event was fun. So I just feel like attending everybody's events, helping out behind the scenes where I could, and then just planning and executing my own events. It was just so much fun to see the behind the scenes and then see it all come to life. And just seeing how all our hard work leaves that impact, which you all talked about, that we did all see and hear from the Gossip Fellows last night. And so I was thinking, like, we just had so much fun, and to hear them stand up there and say, thank you to Maryland made I was just like, whoa, it was heart filling for me. But I'll pass it over to Walt.
Yeah, those all good words for sure. I'll probably say like vibes, right? Like all different types of vibes, but like vibes in general, just because it's like for the first time, I feel like we all were kind of, again, Sophie wasn't upstairs anymore. Me and Sydney wasn't in like random study hall rooms, but like, different types of vibes. And I could have said random too, but like a lot of different times people could just, depending on whatever the day was or like how everybody was feeling, it would just be a vibe for real. You know what I mean? Like Tim would just jump up and Sophia would try to catch him, or like Sophia would be sprinting through the hallway, or Tim would be sprinting through the hallway playing his music or chasing Sophie, right? Like it would just be some random vibes, but it's been a good semester. Even at Risa, like, all right, it's time for me to go in my corner when the vibes get a little too crazy. But it's been a good semester. It's been some great vibes all around. Not Tom and Jerry.
Which one are you then, Sophie? You Jerry?
Whichever one gets chased. I don't remember which is the mouse and which is the cat.
Sorry, Walt. Go ahead.
You're good. So kind of continue this, all right? We recapped the semester, but the semester is not over yet. On May 9th, we are having the inaugural Maryland Athletics Maryland Made block party on May 9th. So Sophie and Tim, y'all were the masterminds behind this idea. So what led to y'all coming together to plan an event like this?
I'm starting this?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sophie, correct the story. At least, yeah, correct the story if I mess this up. But I think we moved in November, December. And then we were in the cafeteria, young dining hall, and I was like, yo, like, I want to throw a block party here. I think Reese's like, go ahead. She know me doing good. And then January came around, and I was like, Sophie, we should really throw a block party. Is this accurate?
Somewhat. I'll fill in.
All right, I'll keep going. And so then one day, Sophie was like, yo, are we really going to do this? And I was like, I mean, if you want to, we can do it. I don't think it'd be too hard. I might a couple of food trucks. Get a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Let everybody vibe out. And that's all I remember to that point. So I'm gonna let you take it from there, dog.
What I'll add to is, I remember Tim, November, December was like, it'd just be fun to have some food trucks out front, just like chill, whatever, just fun, right? And then he brought up again, and I was like, you're not serious. And he was like, yeah, I'm probably not. And then Tim and I were talking about, for those of you who know us, know about our undergrad and graduate experiences, where like school traditions, like your senior year, are like a big deal. Right? Like you honestly come on campus your first year and you are already looking forward to all the stuff that you get to do second semester senior year, right? And so I had that at Michigan. Tim talked about that at Ohio State and South Carolina, right? So we were like, how could we mirror something that we had our undergraduate experiences that created affinity toward our institutions, but also built community amongst the people who were graduating, right? So I'm not going to tell all the graduating seniors who listen to this what the surprise is going to be they're going to get, but they're getting a surprise, right? That we're hoping creates and builds some type of tradition for them. We were just talking about what's something that you can, you are a first year student athlete on the golf team, on the lacrosse team, on the field hockey team, and your older teammates are already like, yo, this thing that happens in the spring is so fun. You get to look forward to it as a graduating student athlete, right? That was kind of, I feel like, a lot of our vision behind this event, and what really stood out to me for it. And then I messaged Risa, and I was on GChat, and I was like, hey, I think we want to do a block party. And she's like, well, you better bring a proposal to the staff meeting next week. And I said, okay, Tim, let's make a proposal, put together in 3 days. And then here we are about to do this thing in 6 days.
Yep.
Exciting stuff on the way for sure. Without giving away the surprise, of course, but what can our listeners out there, the students, what can they expect?
Well, they can obviously expect food trucks, so lots of free food. So we're going to have the Maryland Dairy, and we're going to have 6 flavors. 2 of them will be coach affiliated, so you'll have to attend to see which coach affiliated flavors, plus a root beer float station. That's pretty exciting. Roaming Rooster food truck, the Maryland concessions selling a bunch of things, and also for those of you who are vegan, dairy, gluten-free, all those things, we have accommodations for you. We thought about you. Vegetarians too. DJ Chris Style, some of you know him, so he'll be there. We'll have a student performance, so we'll be dropping a sneak peek of who that is soon. I think by the time this episode comes out, you'll have seen the sneak peek on social media. Photo booth, 360 photo booth, not just your normal photo booth at a wedding, but a 360 photo booth. Raynell on the volleyball team will be emceeing the event, so you can definitely expect that. And team fill me in. I feel like I forgot some things.
No, I think you covered it.
Mushroom tacos.
No.
Mushroom tacos for sure, 100 of them.
Oh, I jotted the 50. But Little Minor
50.
Taco also be there. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the feedback we saw last night with Gossett, and we've heard at least the last 3.5, 4 years, even since Risa got here, was community, right? Athletes sticking with their sport, yada, 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 whatever. So like this is an opportunity to get out of that bubble. So I think similar to ownership of learning and career and voice, ownership to like engage, like get away from your team. So hopefully this can help to create some of that natural movement across teams so we can see our community get back to where they wanted to be.
Sure. No doubt. And these next two questions are about the block party. I was inspired by Sophia's episode with Raynell for these next two. So the first question that I have for y'all, and I'll start with Sydney. Fit check. What are you wearing for this event?
I'm gonna just say I'm wearing a spring color. You have to be there to see what it is.
So are you giving?
What is this, Met Gala? What is this?
Right, like
Yo.
you wear spring color. That's what we're getting, I guess.
Sophie, what you gonna wear?
Definitely gonna wear some type of sneaker dress combination. That is my go-to. If you are someone who likes to wear dresses and you do not wear sneakers with them, you are definitely missing out. So I recommend the sneaker dress combo with, of course, some type of gold chain accessory. I don't know the combination that will be there. Right now I have 3 on, but there may be 4 on Monday. Maybe I'll get a new one this weekend and add it. And some type of fun earring. But that's as far as I've gone so far. Tim, bow tie?
I might no, I ain't wearing a bow tie. 60,
Oh, I'll bring you a scarf, one of my scarves.
67. I might do a little ascot. I might do like a jersey and some skinnies, or do like a 3/4 length and some shorts. Or my anklet. Definitely an anklet. But I'm gonna be strolling out there, so I need to wear some shoes that are like could potentially get messed up, but not really.
Just make sure. I mean, your forces can't be as dirty as some people's. So just make sure. Just make sure the force is not too dirty.
Bro, I told you I clean my forces
He
ear
said
clean.
some people. He said some. He didn't say
He didn't
Everyone
even say your
laughed.
name.
some people, yo. Who
What you gonna wear?
Yeah, we
If the weather is, if it's shorts weather, I got some nice shorts there. You know, I got rep Philly, so some nice Just Don Sixer shorts that I might pull out. Still undecided on. I'm hearing y'all wearing spring colors, and people may not be wearing Maryland colors, so I may go may go deeper in the wardrobe to see what's up.
Fresh off your pedicure too, right, Walt?
That's a team decision. I'm not going. I won't say anything until we know more details about that.
I feel like you should wear the shirt that you wore for Sydney's birthday. That was a nice shirt.
You already saw it though. I can't repeat.
Can't repeat.
Can't
Close
repeat.
together.
That's true.
How about you, Risa?
Probably throw on some sneakers I bought from New York because you know they have the best sneakers up there, and it really becomes weather dependent upon that, whether it's gonna be some sweats or some shorts. But yeah, I'm not gonna rock the Maryland colors, unfortunately, on Monday. I'm going barbecue outfit, right? You gotta be fly for the barbecue, so that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I ain't even think about the sneakers yet. Yeah, we'll see.
I always start with the shoes first.
Smart. All right, the next question. We all should have had enough time for this one, but DJ Chris, what's that request that you want from him? And I'll start with Sydney for this one.
I said the cha-cha slide. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm excited. Hope you all join me on the dance floor.
I was expecting something more Kansas City. but
Me
I'll take
too.
that.
Mm-mm. Maybe next year.
Who you passing it to?
Risa.
You always gotta pass it to the person that says who you passing it to.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Wobble because it's a great time, and I'll save my other comment, but it'll be a great time. So, whoa, what you got?
I mean, I gotta stick with the Philly theme. So I mean, Dreams and Nightmares. I don't know how turned up the students will be, honestly, in that type of setting. But Dreams and Nightmares is always like a good like turn up song. So that's what I'll go with. But anything Drake too. I'm probably say that. Anything Drake would be a nice little vibe though. Tim.
So I was gonna say Drake, but I'm gonna go with First Class by Jack Harlow. And he might have another banger out by then because his album dropped the Friday before it. But First Class, that'll be dope hearing it in the stadium too. Might get a little TikTok on the field. We'll see. So if you can't play Bieber, so
Well, you took my answer. I was gonna say anything Jack Harlow. I was gonna say anything Jack Harlow.
take
Anything Bieber or anything Jack Harlow.
fair.
There will be no Bieber.
You already told Chris Styles he's on the no playlist?
Yes.
No playlist.
I'm gonna have to send him an email.
And I will say this too. Me and Sophie heard a snippet of our special performance. That song is kind of fire. The one that.
Cap and gown.
Bro, come on! Don't be ruining the surprise. Well, stay tuned.
The sneak peek of that videos are gonna be out by the time people listen to
All
this.
right. Well, yeah. But the song that is going to be performed by our student athlete performance is fire. So definitely looking forward to that as well. All right. Again, that's May 9th. This will be out that day. So make sure y'all slide through on the, what's that area called? Concourse? Yeah. Be
Football
there.
Stadium Concourse.
Yeah, be there. All right, looking ahead, as Maryland May, like we said, is taking flight this summer. We got a lot of stuff in store. The Summer Leadership Program, we have Career Field Trip, we have Internship Academy, and a lot more. But I'll start with Sophia on this one. What are you most looking forward to as far as summer plans with Maryland Made?
So yeah, I'll start with the Summer Leadership Program. So this really came to fruition after myself and Miles Alexander, who works on campus in our leadership office, attended the NCAA Leadership Academy workshop. Really awesome experience that we were in Indianapolis for 3 days. And then we've been attending for, I think it was 6 weeks, attended Thursday night sessions with the rest of our law cohort and had the opportunity to really be like, okay, what is a need for our students in the area of leadership development? And as a team, I think we really figured out based on the student groups that we work with, they obviously do like a lot of growth throughout the year, but how can we prepare them ahead of time, right after they get selected for their positions, before they start executing? How do we prepare them and give them all the skills? I mean, all of them, but most of them, 90% maybe of the skills that they need to be successful as leaders. So reflecting on my own leadership experience in undergrad, knowing, just taking different pieces of program and curriculum design in general, thinking about the type of student that a Maryland student athlete leader is, how do we create a comprehensive but short-term leadership program to prepare them as they take on their SAC executive board role, their pre-Alturps executive board role, worldwide Terps, team impact, et cetera. So really excited for that program to kick off. It'll be an synchronous and asynchronous on Zoom, 5 weeks this summer. We're going to cover a variety of topics, really prepare these students to be phenomenal leaders, because I think all of us can agree, and I'll speak for the team on this though, is our hope is after these students, finish out their leadership roles, they gain some type of leadership experience they can talk about in a job interview, graduate school interview, et cetera. It's not just the opportunity to say I was president of SAC when I was in college, right? But it's like, what are those transferable leadership skills you can have moving forward that really transform them as professionals, and also things that they can take into their social lives, into, their personal relationships, right? And so I'm really excited to see this program to come to fruition and hopefully get a lot of good feedback at the end so we can make some adjustments and changes moving forward.
Risa, what about you?
I mean, for me, I'll say the career field trip. When I was at the University of Oregon, we were able to start the tradition of career field trips for our student athletes. And that was the one thing that I really wanted to bring here that we did there. And unfortunately, as soon as we got here, COVID really hit our first summer that we were able to do something. And so now being able to take a group of student athletes up to New York City and really give them a firsthand experience of what it's like to work in some of these industries or work for some of the organizations that they aspire to be a part of, I just think it's going to be really impactful. I think, there are a lot of institutions that are trying to do this. Some are doing it well. And I want to make sure that we do this at the best of our abilities so that our students continue to strive for greatness in whatever lane that is for them. So I'm super excited for this opportunity. In addition, having our M Club join us and assist us in this opportunity, and some of our mentors may also be able to be on this trip with us. So it's really a collective piece that is expansive more than just us as the Maryland Made team. Tim, what about you?
Yeah, definitely Interp. I mean, New York's gonna be lit, but Interp is gonna be fun too. I think it's going into seventh or eighth year in existence, which is phenomenal. But this year we have about 15 confirmed interns this summer in spots all across the U.S. actually. So seeing what they take from the program, looking especially at those who graduated from Interp in the past and where they've gone and what they've done, is something I'm looking forward to helping facilitate come June 6, 2022.
Sydney, anything from summer that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the opportunity to co-facilitate the summer leadership program and the opportunity for the new Team Impact Fellows with S's, because there are more than one or two, but they will be able to, attend the summer leadership program. And I'm just excited to see what all they learn from this program they can exhibit moving forward this next semester.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. And then looking outside of Maryland Made, I know there's some people on the call that are doing conferences that have some big plans for their personal businesses and things like that, as well as vacations or anything that you feel comfortable sharing with the audience out there. So what's something outside of Maryland Made that you're really looking forward to this summer? And Tim, I'll start with you.
Going home, yo. Like Cincinnati's become my spot for sure. Every summer I got tradition now to go to FC Cincinnati soccer game. So planning my trip home around that. I hit a Reds game too. Tickets are like $5 right now because I'm not getting into that. But going home, see my grandma, going to the Reds game, going to soccer game, hit all my breweries back in Cincy would be dope. And I cannot wait for that to happen. Sophia, where you traveling this summer, yo?
Well, I know Tim didn't want to say this, but I know he's most excited to go to Las Vegas with me this summer for the N4A convention. So follow along on social media. We'll be showing up to the airport in some matching t-shirts, preferably a Hawaiian print button-up. So just stay tuned. So I'm excited for that. But this is not necessarily summer because it's happening in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to Paris for a week in a couple of weeks. So really excited for that. I'll be going with my dad. So it's spend some quality time with Sylvia Wasteboard. So looking forward to that. So stay tuned for all the Instagrams. Sydney, what about you?
I'm excited to have a seafood boil. I haven't had one since I've been out here. I'm also just excited to explore the DMV area. I'm still new out here. So any museums, any restaurants, any bookstores, community centers, let me know. I'm just looking to explore. I'll pass it to Risa.
I feel like a failure because you haven't had a Maryland crab yet and you've been here for almost a full year. So we need to make that happen ASAP.
She did a crab dip for the first time last week.
That still don't really count though, but okay.
Progress.
She got closer.
Yeah.
So for me, I will say two things. Black Student Athlete Summit, being a keynote speaker for them this year. Being able to go to Houston, they're in a different city, so I'm excited about that opportunity. But really similar to Tim, just like vacations, I don't have anything set right now. I'm probably just going to roll with the flow this summer, but looking forward to taking 3 strong weeks off. We've worked very hard this academic year, and I just need all of us to take some rest and have some fun. So that's really what I'm looking forward to outside of, the work we do here in Maryland. And Walt, what about you?
Yeah, so I don't have anything planned like big right now. I'll probably definitely try to get home to Philly. I got like in June, I'll try to go back to Philly at least, and then probably like sometime in July, August as well. Kind of becoming like a native DMV, or not quite yet, but becoming one. So I definitely want to slide back home to connect with some friends and some family. We'll see what these Sixers do. Hopefully maybe extended playoffs, so maybe a playoff game or maybe a parade if we're feeling that lucky. But yeah, so definitely going home, and then I'll probably try to take a few like weekend trips every once in a while somewhere like down the East Coast or something like that. So not too much planned, but definitely want to get back home. All right, and our next thing is taking flight. Again, the Maryland May team is taking flight, and we spent a lot of time this semester and last semester kind of revising our mission, our pillars, but also like a lot of our guiding principles and things like that. Added some new programs that we have. So like I'll start with Risa as Honcho, kind of like what's next for Maryland May? The people out there want to know. So what's next for Maryland May? Without giving away too much, of course, but what's next?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's continuing to look long-term, right? So what does student athlete development look like in the future? I think we continue to have great conversations about this ever-evolving landscape that we're living in right now. The transfer portal continues to explode for every sport. And again, I'm of the mindset of if this is not the place for you, please go find the place that is for you. But what does that do for us in terms of sustainability of what we're doing? But also how is that preparing our students for wherever they decide to go in their future? So I'm going to continue to think about what that looks like from a student athlete development lens. Additionally, just continue to think about how we can grow our staff, right? We went from last summer with 2 full-time people and 1 intern to this past summer now three full-time staff and 2 interns. So what does that look like moving forward? I think we have some great donors who really want to continue to enhance the overall student athlete well-being. And so who else is out there that may want to tap into our programming and helping us get better so that we can get better for our students? So that's really for me kind of what I want to see happen in the next 6 months to a year. I'll toss it to Sydney, and I say that specifically because you are still in a new position and thinking about just the evolution you've already had in 10 months. So what does the next 6 to 12 months look like for you?
I'll start off by saying, realizing that the sky is the limit. So I will say throughout these 10 months, a lot of the students have shared different opportunities that they want to do, different community engagement, whether it's being just a community amongst the student athletes. So like whether it's a game night or a movie night, or being more involved, for instance, like with Team Impact, or just collectively. And so that's really what I'm looking forward to, is more opportunities for them to be able to build community and just have fun. I will pass it over to Tim.
Yeah, I agree, yo. And I think from my perspective, from a career development sense, really reimagining what Gossip Fellows and intern could be. I know, like Reese and I think all of us talked about this a little bit at staff meeting last week, a couple weeks ago. But given that whether NIL changes, transfer rule, transfer portal, like going more 1-year type programs, even semester long programs. So it's more acceptable. So theoretically could be more accessible to more athletes. Also thinking about from an NIL perspective, how we can continue to incorporate branding. I think we heard that a little bit last night in platforms that make sense to them in their career, whether that's LinkedIn or not. And continue to have fun in different ways. I think we've seen, and I think we know at this point that the process works, our own individualized processes, but also Maryland made. But how do we continue to be innovative as higher education, but also college sport continues to evolve into what we either want it to be or don't want it to be at this current moment. Sophia, what you thinking about?
I have three things to say really quick. First thing is pre-health terps. So I've been doing pre-health terps executive board interviews over the last couple of weeks, finishing up tomorrow. But the ideas and the changes that people who are interviewing to be on the board have is exactly what I've been thinking about, right? In terms of really thinking about how do we diversify the group of pre-health terps. And I think that is really what's next for them. It's been a really core, consistent group of female student athletes coming this year, and all of them are all of people who are applying to be on the exec board are very explicit in saying like this demographic needs to change, and whether that's also going to include non-student athletes, like that's okay too. So think about how do we get more male student athletes involved, how do we get more Black student athletes involved, how do we get non-student athletes involved, right? And create like this community that is inclusive and accepting of all people to see themselves in the healthcare field. And how we start this earlier on, right? Because that's when people are just going into self-selecting out of healthcare fields and healthcare majors as soon as they step on campus, right? And so I think that is next for this group. That group's I'm really excited. Second thing was an idea brought up at Gossip Fellows program last night of how do we have a leadership program that is collaborative across different student groups on campus. I think something that we can partner with fraternity and sorority life, or other leadership groups on campus that are not student athletes and have some type of cross organization collaboration with a leadership program would be super dope. So seeing how this summer goes with a leadership program and seeing what does that look like moving forward, doing stuff with fraternity and sorority life, rec well, etc. And the third thing is with social media. So I don't think any of us have really talked about that yet, but really the work and the intentionality we did in terms of our social media strategy this semester, I think really changed how we built community in a digital capacity. And so I think continuing to do that moving forward, reimagining how we're sharing information, how we're getting program information out to students, how we're talking about like what we're doing and what opportunities are available. Like, I think that's really what's next for us to really kind of expand in that area.
Shout out to the comms team.
Raise your hand if you're going to miss Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Just me? Okay.
Tag left you hanging.
All right, the close out today's episode, just any final thoughts on this year? I'll start with Sydney.
It's not going to be the same ever again. So we cherish the moments that we had.
Everything okay
That was
over
deep.
there?
Like Met Gala to a funeral, yo.
Right.
Wait.
Yo, last night Sydney looked at me and she goes, "This is the last team photo we will ever take."
That's for me. And that's what, yeah, saying it's true. That's very true.
Sophia, what you got?
Final thoughts on the academic year. I think I'll just say I can't believe it's been a year already, but I can't believe it's also only been a year, right? Like that just concept of how slow and fast time is at the same time. But what a great year it's been to really learn a lot about myself, this team, this university, the student athletes here. Like I feel very, very fortunate to be surrounded by these people on this call and the students that we get to work with every day. Definitely a high point. And of course, my final thought has to be a shout out to the person I share a wall with. Walt, gonna miss you, buddy. It's been a good ride. I hope you can feel my hand trying to hold your hand across the wall. But in all seriousness, couldn't have done this year without Walt. So grateful for you.
Thank you, Sophie.
Sophie, can you hear me? Why you not on mute? Why are you muted?
Because I finished talking.
Oh, never mind. How'd your chair feel?
You know what? My chair feels good, but I'm thinking of all the ways I could change the design.
That was been a fun year. That's my takeaway. We've done a lot. We've done a lot this year, and I don't think we realized, well, at least I have not realized how much we have actually done. Well, what all we've done and how much that has helped to improve the experience of athletes in Maryland. And honestly shape the future of college sport and athlete development, to be honest. But it's been fun for sure. It's been a fun year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo Sophia with this like fast-paced time that has happened. Like, it's interesting to think that it's only been 1 year because it feels like it's been like 3 or 4 at this point. but it's been a great year. I think, again, I don't think many of us have had a moment to slow down and really think about what we've accomplished as individuals in our own careers, let alone the work that we do for our students every day and how we are changing the landscape in a lot of ways. But it's been a great year. I think this team has definitely come together, probably stronger than any other team we've had to this point. And again, I think that has to do a lot with the space that we now occupy. It has given us a lot more than we've had in the past. I will also echo, Walt, you have been a great addition to this team. I'm gonna let you do your own sign off, but we appreciate everything you brought to us, and good luck in the future, buddy. So it's gonna be great. But Walt, what you got for us? Close us out here.
Appreciate it. I'm try to hold back the tears. I'm gonna try to keep the emotions in check. Why are you looking at me like that, Tim? But definitely appreciate all of y'all. Risa and Tim, appreciate y'all for adding me to the Maryland Made team. Sydney and Sophie, thanks for joining the Maryland Made team and the dream team, the starting five. Great to be able to share this academic year with y'all. Definitely enjoyed my time here at Maryland. And it's not a goodbye. It's see you later. Again, like I said, I'll be sticking around at DMV. So I'm excited to be able to still communicate with y'all, of course, and still stay connected with y'all. But definitely appreciate y'all for helping me grow as a person, helping me grow as a professional, and helping me kind of get the first taste of like a real college athletics job, and especially working at a Division I school like Maryland. So definitely appreciate this opportunity, appreciate this experience. I had a lot of fun. Like, I don't say much. I'm I won't say quiet person, but like I don't really get out of character too often, or like get too hyped or anything like that. But it's been great to have a team that really brings the best out of me. And I've enjoyed this platform for sure, the podcast, to be able to connect with students and alumni and a bunch of different people through here. So definitely have enjoyed that. And to everybody like listening, appreciate y'all for listening to me ramble, or me ask some questions every once in a while. But definitely been a good time. We'll talk, Tim. We'll talk. But definitely have enjoyed this platform, but have enjoyed this year. And then shout out to all the student athletes, especially I don't have favorites, but SAC, my SAC crew, definitely some favorites. So shout out to SAC, of course, for definitely connecting and just being good people and fighting a good fight. And a lot of the work that we do has definitely kind of recalibrated my thinking coming out of this experience to really continue to push forward and keep fighting a good fight. But shout out to the team. I appreciate y'all for this.
You're welcome, Walt.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right, to close it out, man, we got to do one final Maryland Made sign off.
It's on you, Walt. This your last one.
All right. Maryland Made on 3, Maryland Made on me. 1, 2, 3.
Maryland Made.
Hags, everyone. Have a good summer.
Peace.
I was wondering what that meant.
You didn't write that in your high school yearbooks?